Part 20. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Chingjomi Se. Chapter 192. After Old Su left, Sumian did not go upstairs immediately. She did not want to think about these things before, but now it seems that Old Su has brought them to the surface. She knows about them and cannot control them. Sumian sat on the sofa, watching TV, her mind spinning. In the program, it was already the afternoon of the second day after the new guest arrived. At 5 o'clock, the camera was on Zhong Wenbei. After returning, he wandered around in the kitchen. The guest's voiceover was still puzzled, wondering why Xiaobai was fiddling in the kitchen when Chen Shen and Su Yuan were supposed to cook together today. There was a sound outside. Su Yuan was back. Zhong Wenbei greeted him enthusiastically, and then started chatting with Su Yuan. I understand. Xiaobai wants to repeat the path that Shuj has taken. I can really understand Xiaobai. He was very conflicted when he wrote the letter yesterday. He wrote to Mian at first, but then he tore it up and wrote the remaining half to Yuan. Yuan is really a very good girl. She seems to have a sense of social responsibility and treats everyone very seriously. In fact, Shuj is very good, Xiaobai is not bad either, but it's a pity that there is a bastard. I won't say who it is. I had dinner with Mian, and as soon as I came back, Mian ran to Chen Shen and took a walk alone with Chen Shen. In fact, it was pretty good. She immediately expressed her position to Xiaobai without any hesitation. Some people seem to be talking about Xiaobai. As if there is still a chance, Yuan has already leaned towards Chen Go. Do you think Xiaobai is better than Zhou Ji? Xiaobai, let's do something big and chase Sister Mo directly. The show continued. After chatting for a few words, Su Yuan said she was going to buy vegetables. Zhong Wenbei immediately said enthusiastically, I'll help you, Sister Yuan. Su Yuan was stunned, it's okay, I'm not in a hurry. Zhong Wenbei, it's okay, you don't have to worry about troubling me, I just want to find something to do, it's too torturous to be idle. Su Yuan's face looked a little embarrassed, I have an appointment with Chen Shen, I have to wait for him. Wait for him, Zhong Wenbei's enthusiastic smile was still frozen on his face, and then he froze in place as if he was acupunctured. The barrage was full of joy. It's late, but it's time. I told you that even Zhou Ji can't beat Chen Shen. How can you, a student? I laughed my ass off. Chen Go deserves to die. He hasn't paid much attention to Yuan these past 2 days, but he keeps writing letters to Yuan. This guy is really daring to play with carrots and sticks. When he was walking with Mian last night, Yuan's resentful eyes looked like she was going to be angry. Zhou Ji is the same. After King Ai came, he kept circling around King Ai. Now Yuan has no psychological pressure. I feel that Xiaobai's worldview may collapse. I asked Mian out, but she didn't respond. She went back to find Chen Shen. Now she's still in contact with Yuan, and it's still Chen Shen, ha 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 ha. The observation room is also talking about this, which is similar to the barrage chat. Chen Shen is not a human being. He played with other girls while giving letters to Yuan. This would give Su Yuan an illusion that Chen Shen still has a good impression of her, but her hesitation during the date hurt him a little, so it's like this. As a result, Su Yuan, who has always been more considerate of other people's emotions, violated her own social habits in front of others this time. Jinan sighed, we can't watch this show as a traditional love variety show. Teacher Lin has always emphasized that the show has obtained the consent of the guests. Then we should watch it as a real idol show. Chen Shen has no choice. If he doesn't do this, he will really let down the director's trust in him. Why do we do this show? It must be to bring laughter to everyone while also letting the viewers gain something. For example, Chen Shen, in the future, when we girls meet such boys, We must stay away from them. This is the value of this show. Jinan stuttered to finish this paragraph, looking like this salary is not easy to get, and the guests in the observation room around him were all trying to hold back their laughter. Chen Shen treated Su Yuan in a typical pua, carrot, and stick. However, they can't be guided like this. They are artists and don't want to say it. A sentence of letting professionals analyze it was pushed to Jinan. For Jinan, the core of his work is only one, that is, sitting here and talking, guiding the direction of the show, and not letting the audience scold the guests. It was okay in the first few episodes, and it was over with a smile. After Chen Shen started to exert his strength, I had to find an angle to whitewash Chen Shen every time, which was so tiring. In the show, after Zhong Wenbei recovered his expression, his face was full of doubts, as if he was really wondering, why is it Chen Shen again? I think it's still early now, why don't we go buy the vegetables first, and cook together after Brother Shen comes back, Zhong Wenbei said again, but this time his voice was much lower. Su Yuan frowned, and then smiled and said, how can it be so cheap? I have an appointment with him, and I can't not work. Zhong Wenbei began to scratch his head, as if he had just confirmed that Su Yuan was really waiting for Chen Shen. At this moment, the door was pushed open, and Chen Shen really came back. So early, Chen Shen said in surprise. Zhong Wenbei seemed a little irritated, and said without beating around the bush, I'm fine, I come back at this time most of the time, and Sister Yuan is early, she has asked for leave an hour in advance. His tone was not that of a green tea, but a tone of really defending Su Yuan. Su Yuan followed Zhong Wenbei's words and said, yes, I have asked for leave, but it's okay, you are also early, don't worry. Zhong Wenbei, Ha ha ha, I seem to see the eyes of a husky. Sorry, although I feel sorry for you, but I really want to laugh. That's ridiculous. I said Xiaobai's worldview is going to collapse. He is really a bit stupid. It's true. He took a walk with me and Mian last night, and now he asked Yuan to wait. Who wouldn't do that? Xiaobai, don't doubt yourself. It's not your problem. Really, we all know it. Bye, let's go back to school. You really can't do this question. Chen Shen went upstairs to put his bag. Su Yuan ran to the stairs to wait for Chen Shen. Zhong Wenbei was still standing there, frowning, and doubting his life. The audience especially understands Zhong Wenbei. Anyone would doubt their life. I made an appointment with Mian yesterday. When I came back, Mian ran to Chen Shen without any cover. She was frustrated and had no room for maneuver. So she had to look at others. Su Yuan was a warm-hearted person. After chatting with him for a few words, Zhong Wenbei thought it was a good sign. After struggling, he gave the letter to Su Yuan. Then the person Su Yuan was waiting for was Chen Shen again. What's wrong with this world? When going out to buy groceries, Zhong Wenbei followed him. He took the initiative and seemed a little unconvinced. However, Su Yuan and Chen Shen talked about the photos they took on their date, and they were in full swing. Su Yuan also took out her mobile phone to show Chen Shen the photos she thought were good looking. Someone in the observation room sighed. They said that as they guessed, Su Yuan felt that she neglected Chen Shen by dating him, and chatting now was a kind of emotional compensation. Look, I value the photos you took for me so much, and I praised them in various ways. Chen Shen started to act up again, and he was talking about the photo that Su Yuan just said was good looking. Su Yuan argued with him for a few words. Then he handed the two photos to Zhong Wenbei and asked Zhong Wenbei which one was good looking. Zhong Wenbei compared them carefully for at least 10 seconds before nodding, this one looks good, mainly because it captures your cool temperament, Sister Yuan. It's a contrast to your current look, and it's very stylish. It's a really good shot. Su Yuan leaned towards Chen Shen, look, Xiaobai said this one looks good. Chen Shen laughed, you don't have good aesthetics. Su Yuan snorted, you don't have good aesthetics. Chen Shen, my aesthetics are unique. Under the camera, it can be clearly seen that Zhong Wenbei opened his mouth several times, and finally spoke, Sister Yuan, don't listen to him, our aesthetics are normal, that one is really beautiful, the one Brother Shen said is your normal look, and you didn't capture the style. Su Yuan stared, then looked at Zhong Wenbei, what do you mean? I don't have style in my usual look, right? I don't look good either. Zhong Wenbei, The barrage exploded. Ha 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 ha, Bai, Chen Go is a wolf and you are a husky. If you are different, don't blend in. I am so damned, I laughed so hard at this part. I cried so hard, it reminded me of a friend of mine. He treated the goddess with great care, but a man driving a GTR told him not to bother him anymore. How shameless. The program team is kind enough to show us these two photos. The one Xiaobai and Yuan said is indeed better than the one Chen Go said. Yes, Chen Go's aesthetics are not good. The one he said is just an ordinary upper body photo, which is supported by Yuan's appearance. There is indeed no lens language. Yes, 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 I also think Chen Go's aesthetics are not good. It's not beautiful, Xiaobai is right, it's Chen Go's fault. I've been playing photography for 3 years, I don't even bother to say Chen Go's rubbish aesthetics. Woo woo woo, just came from Yuan's Xiaohongshu, she didn't post any photos that she thought were beautiful, but instead posted the one that Chen Go thought was beautiful. Ha ha ha, who said Chen Go's aesthetics are not good? I laughed to death, you are professional, but is it useful? Damn, after watching this show, everyone looks like my brother Joe to me. Indeed, Yuan's Xiaohongshu still has this half-length photo, and the text is still I think this one is beautiful. I'm different, I thought Chen Go's aesthetics were great from the beginning. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 193. In the camera, Zhong Wenbei began to doubt life again. After being several steps behind, when Su Yuan looked over, Zhong Wenbei ran forward. Sister Yuan, that's not what I meant. These photos are actually very beautiful, but the styles are different. Some styles are more prominent, which means that the person taking the photos completely appreciates you, and he can capture your beauty. Only then can I take so many beautiful photos, Zhong Wenbei explained. However, when Su Yuan heard this, he looked at Chen Shen, his eyes watery. Chen Shen touched his head in embarrassment. Zhong Wenbei looked like he hadn't explained it well. Why do you feel the atmosphere is weird? Sister Yuan. Zhong Wenbei wanted to speak again and continue to explain. Su Yuan didn't even look at Zhong Wenbei. He waved his hands and said, I know, I know. I don't blame you. Zhong Wenbei also started to scratch his head. He couldn't understand. He was complimented, even by the person who took the photo. Why was there still a sense of disgust in his tone? Chen Shen gave Zhong Wenbei a thumbs up, Xiaobai, what you said is really good, you are worthy of being a top student. Zhong Wenbei was stunned for a moment, and instinctively felt a little embarrassed, no, I still have a lot to learn. Damn it, Chen Go, you really deserve to die. Are you a human? Are you a human? Xiaobai, stop talking. The more you talk and be kind, the more you like Chen Shen. Is this what a good student looks like in front of a scumbag? The stupid one is a little cute. It's so special. The more I watch this show, the more irritating it becomes. Is there anyone here to take care of it? Hey, I'm not angry, I just like Chen Shen, and I just like to see you guys break your defenses. I'm so happy. For those guys who say they like Chen Shen, I wish you are surrounded by Chen Shen. Cao Nima, you are surrounded by Chen Shen, and your whole family is Chen Shen. After returning from shopping for groceries, Zhong Wenbei felt much better. Because during the grocery shopping period, Su Yuan still took good care of Zhong Wenbei, and would at least ask Zhong Wenbei what kind of food he liked. After Chen Shen praised Zhong Wenbei, he occasionally talked to Zhong Wenbei. After something went wrong, things suddenly went smoothly, and Zhong Wenbei was in a good mood. However, Zhong Wenbei was confused again when he saw Chen Shen entering the kitchen with his computer and sitting directly at the dining table and starting to play on the computer. "No, aren't you going to cook with Sister Yuan?" Zhong Wenbei stood in the kitchen and asked, "Brother Shen, do you have any unfinished work?" Before Chen Shen could explain, Su Yuan rolled his eyes and said, "Don't worry about him." "Who is he?" "He is lazy and mouthy." "Who are you? What are you doing with him?" Zhong Wenbei was stunned for a moment, then smiled sheepishly. No, no, don't say that, Brother Shen is pretty good, humorous, and mature." Su Yuan tilted his head, then smiled and said, "That's true. I feel sorry for Xiaobai. Really, a complete defeat, not even a single round. It's so uncomfortable, but I can't bear to watch it. I'm so angry." Yuan said it in her letter this morning, saying that she can be like Mian and not let Chen Go do it. You really don't do it? It's over, Yuan has been completely manipulated by Chen Go. It turns out that you can still pursue a girl like this, not just by being nice to her. Why didn't this show come out earlier? Damn it. Zhou Gaikan came back, entered the restaurant, and said hello briefly. His eyes didn't linger on Chen Shen. Instead, he looked at Zhong Wenbei, looking at him probingly, and then went to the kitchen to help. "Look, this is the lower limit of human beings. The last time Mian cooked Chen Go and played on the computer, my brother Zhou ordered Chen Go several times. This time he has become accustomed to it. Xiaobai, be polite, this is the senior brother of your red-nosed clan. Hey, I have to say that Chen Go is still a genius. He made an appointment to cook with Su Yuan, but ended up playing on the computer by himself and asked the other two male guests to help. The key point is that I think he is not stable, and Yuan will not do anything to that. The two boys have a crush. King Ai, look at this scene quickly, Chen Go is too arrogant. It's okay, don't panic. As proud as Chen Go is now, the ending will be painful. Even if Chen Go knows that Qingyi also has a mission, Qingyi still has a big advantage. Yes, let him be arrogant for a few days. Qingyi, have a huge advantage. Even if I can't beat Chen Go in the routine, as long as Qingyi catches a male guest and hums him, I will be invincible. Yes, what are you afraid of? King Ai, just feel free to show off. I promise not to say that you are playing with the feelings of the male guests. Isn't Chen Go also so kind and kind? There is also Mian. 10,000 people have written this book, please ask King Ai to play with my ugly brother's feelings. Forget the others, I don't feel sorry for you at all when you play with my ugly brother. Yes, I won't eat Big Bad Wolf or Little Sheep anymore. Chen Go is not worthy. He is not worthy of any of these female guests. Chen Go dies. Qing Yishan. Su Yuan was in high spirits and kept smiling, but she would look at Chen Shen from time to time and talk to Chen Shen, for fear of neglecting Chen Shen. A few cold jokes made the observation room and barrage hilarious. However, as soon as Xiaoqing came back, the atmosphere immediately changed. First, Fang Ya arrived in the living room, and then Xiaobai also exited the kitchen enthusiastically and stood with Fang Ya. Zhou Gaikan is very stable and has been helping Su Yuan prepare hot pot dishes in the kitchen. However, when Xiaoqing Ai said, "I've eaten at your Huanya canteen," Zhou Gaikan immediately had a warm smile on his face, and then he started chatting with Xiaoqing Ai, looking very happy. He also looked at the other male guests from time to time. It seemed to be saying, "Look, I have a big advantage over Xia King Ai, we are in the same industry. Puh, 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 my ugly brother's life is really not a life, King Ai, please play with him. I know why I don't feel sorry for ugly brother, his biggest advantage is that he is mean, the kind of mean that he is not good at playing. I am so funny, every time ugly brother starts, and then he is defeated, and he is defeated again and again. I have never been so convinced by a person, the innate red-nose holy body is so terrifying. I feel comfortable, Chengo, come on, you continue to be arrogant. Chengo, why don't you say anything, are you born not talkative? I said, King Ai has a super advantage, as long as she is brave enough, she can win, ugly brother's feelings can be played casually, I will help you decide. After everyone arrived, they started to eat. The hot pot is not complicated, 2 pots, one is more spicy, and the other is slightly spicy. However, when choosing a seat, it was not selected according to whether or not they can eat spicy food. Su Mian naturally looked at Chen Shen. After Chen Shen sat down in the corner, Su Mian sat next to Chen Shen, and Su Mo sat opposite Su Mian. Zhou Gaikan and Fang Ye looked at each other face to face, pulled out the chairs in front of them, and then looked at Xia King Ai at the same time. Xia King Ai smiled, I'll sit on the side. There are 2 pots, so it's easy to pick up food. Zhong Wenbei, who was a beat slower, looked to the left, and then to the right. Chen Shen and Xia King Ai were opposite each other. He didn't hesitate and went directly to sit opposite Xia King Ai. Su Yuan came from the kitchen with a spoon, and the seat reserved for her happened to be opposite Chen Shen. Then, the world-famous painting appeared. Chen Shen and Xia King Ai, one on the far right, the other on the far left, or diagonally opposite. The 3 female guests were next to Chen Shen, and the 3 male guests were next to Xia King Ai. As if it was destined, Chen Shen looked up and happened to meet Xia King Ai's eyes. Chen Shen smiled, and Xia King Ai smiled as well. I'm so excited. Who the hell is still watching a romance? King Ai, get him to death. Chen Shen, is that you? Xia King Ai, yes, it's me. So exciting, now it's like a clear card, Xia King Ai knows there's someone with a reverse mission, and Chen Shen also knows that Xia King Ai's coming is unusual. Chen Go dies, Qing Yishan. Chen Go dies, Qing Yishan. Then, the content of this episode of the Love Variety show ended, and the cameras switched to the observation room, where a group of people went crazy, like baboons patting their chests, very lively. The barrage was full of Chen Go dies, Qing Yishan, like soldiers lined up, swiping across the screen in a heroic and uniform manner, densely packed. However, all this had little effect on Su Mian, she was half watching and half not watching, thinking about things all the time. After seeing the barrage on the screen full of scolding Chen Shen, she immediately turned off the TV. One thing stuck in Su Mian's thinking. Old Su didn't bring all good news. He also said that Chen Shen had encountered problems. What could have happened to Chen Shen? Su Mian thought about it and it seemed that only career problems could happen. If old Su remembered it, it must be a big deal. Su Mian took out her mobile phone and found Su Mo's WeChat. Sister Mo, old Su said that Chen Shen had encountered trouble at work. Su Mo replied quickly, trouble? What trouble? Su Mian, I don't know. Old Su came to my house for dinner and talked about Chen Shen. He said that Chen Shen had encountered big trouble. Su Mo, okay, I know, I'll ask someone about it. Su Mian held the mobile phone and bit her lips gently. Sister Mo should help, right? No, Sister Mo had better not help. No, Sister Mo still needs help. Old Su thinks it is a big deal, and only Sister Mo can help. Just when the 2 villains in Su Mian's head were fighting, Su Mo's WeChat came again. Mian, what else did your father say to you? Are you still in contact with Chen Shen? Sumian's eyes shrank, and she felt like she was out of the safe zone. Is this the pressure that Sister Mo gives people? Like a god-equipped ADC. Sumian began to type. Old Su said that where a man's heart is, there is his money and time. He also said that Chen Shen would never stop for a girl, no matter how much it costs. After sending it out, Sumian was a little scared again. She looked around the house and puffed out her chest again. Don't be afraid, Chen Shen's money is here, and he is here too. Su Mo, your father is right. People like Chen Shen are really not good. Think about it. He dares to show his scumbag side in the love show with so many people watching. What's more, privately, I always feel that your father's name is indispensable in the business world of Yuzhou. You must listen carefully to what he says. Sumian frowned, so strong. Yes, I also think what Lao Su said is right, so I told you all this, and also asked if Chen Shen had any problems. After all, I don't have many friends. Su Mo hesitated for a long time before replying, don't worry, I'll ask when I have time. After all, I'm busy and working overtime now. Are you still in touch with him? Seeing this message, Sumian breathed a sigh of relief. It's not impossible to help. This attitude makes her feel much more comfortable. Sumian replied, occasionally. Su Mo, so what's your current situation? I mean, I'm afraid you'll be influenced by him. Such a person is not worth it. Sumian glanced upstairs, and then replied, we're just good friends. Now he doesn't play games with me anymore. After sending this message, Sumian nodded with satisfaction. She swore to heaven that she had not lied to Sister Mo in a single word. She stretched her body and was about to go upstairs, but suddenly stopped and typed again, Sister Mo, what about you? What's your situation? This time, Su Mo replied faster, we? Me and Chen Shen? At most, we're partners. Sumian chuckled twice, then put away her phone and went upstairs. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 194. The next day, Saturday. In mid-December, for Chen Shen, it was undoubtedly just a morning run and a coat. Looking outside, the golf course below the cliff looks like spring all year round. After his morning run, Chen Shen sat on the wooden chair on the terrace. The yard here is much more substantial than the one next door. There is a big banyan tree next to the terrace. If you open the window on the third floor of the room near here, you will feel like you are in the leafy woods. Chen Shen took Myanmar's tablet and checked the online feedback on the third issue of the love drama. He didn't read the content, but he wanted to see the direction of the wind. Please, don't ask me about the follow-up development. I dare not say it. The liquidated damages are very high, but I can responsibly amway everyone. It is indeed the best variety show in the past few years. Of course, Chen Go dies, Ching Ching lifelong, let alone you, all of us are gnashing our teeth at this. If we had known that you had already started scolding us, we wouldn't have spoken for him, ha ha ha. This Weibo was posted by a 36-year-old actor, one of the guests in the observation room. It was his first time recording this kind of program, and he didn't expect to get caught. Teacher Chin, you have posted 4 Weibo messages from last night to now. I know, we can't ask you. It's so funny. Except for Ling Yanhui and Yu Zhongqian, everyone else was holding it tight at first, but now they have completely let it go. Teacher Qin Qian has started to dance. Stop talking, my circle of friends last night were all about Chen Go who died in youth. Can anyone kind-hearted tell me, a Mongolian, what's going on? Maybe it's because I've read too much content in this area. As soon as I enter Weibo, I see relevant news. Chen Shen scrolled down and found that among the people recorded in the observation room, everyone was posting content related to love lesson. For example, the drama actor named Qin Qian, whom I just watched, posted 4 posts in one night. Atkin, Kun, I couldn't help but bother you at the beginning. Look, now I'm taking advantage of this trend to attract fans. Teacher Qin Qian seems to have realized it. He has been chatting about Lianzong on Weibo since last week. The number of fans has doubled. Unexpectedly, it's the end of the year, and Penguin Video has also done a big job. It is said that Penguin Video has added more than 3 million new members during this period. At first, I thought those hot searches it was just a mere hype, but I didn't expect it to be just a small appetizer. Chen Shen is indeed the right person. Don't ask, Chen Shen really hasn't opened a social account. With the looks of people like you, does he dare to open one? I really want to say something fair for him. It's just a show when he's on stage. Let's not be serious about it. When Xiaoqing came, it was indeed a dimensionality reduction blow. Students, public relations in the entertainment industry, and bank gold collars all couldn't handle it. But I still think that Chen Shen can be evenly matched with her. Being able to do this is already very impressive. Chen Shen came across another Weibo post posted by a Big V half an hour ago. There was indeed a small group of people posting a series of comments online saying that they had gone too far. Chen Shen looked at these comments and was very rational. At present, when I feel that I have gone too far, it is mostly directed at Su Yuan, my Pua. Chen Shen shook his head. Netizens are the realists. Is Zhou Gaikan's life not life? Is Zhong Wenbei's life not life? Is Fang Ye's life not life? I feel sorry for Su Yuan. Chen Shen clicked on the hot search, and sure enough, the entry about Chen Go's life was already number 1. Looking down, Chen Shen burst into laughter. A book written with thousands of blood, asking Xiaoqing Ai to play with brother Zhou's feelings. Chen Shen clicked in and was surprised to find that the first hot comment was from a fan of Xiaoqing Ai. King Ai, don't listen to them. Just be a matchmaker and match up anyone you want. Anyway, it's up to you. We don't allow you to fall in love, even if it's fake. This comment was quite satisfactory, but it had a high number of likes and more than 30,000 replies. Being curious, Chen Shen clicked on the reply. I advise you kid to stop meddling in other people's business. What's wrong with falling in love in your 20s? Xiaoqing Ai, you fans can't do it? As long as you beat Chen Go, we support you to become the number 1 female in domestic entertainment. That's right, let's take this opportunity to get rid of your fans. What age are we in, and idols are not allowed to fall in love? Who are you, the mother or the father? I put my words here. Xiaoqing Ai needs to be talked about whether she is in love or not. If the fans don't agree, we will kill Xiaoqing Ai's fans. Yes, I've seen them dissatisfied for a long time. Xiaoqing Ai, please change a group of fans. Xiaoqing's 10-year-old fan came here uninvited. As long as you kill Chen Go with a knife, we will support you as the number 1 idol in domestic entertainment. Chen Shen was watching and enjoying himself. Xiaoqing Ai's fans rushed this group of people out of sight, and they beat anyone to death if they caught one. After exiting and going down, Chen Shen saw another hot search. Chen Shen may have been captured by Su Yuan. This hot search posted a picture of Su Yuan's Xiaohongshu, which is the photo that Chen Shen praised. It is still in Su Yuan's Xiaohongshu news. If it were the last issue, I might have given my blessing, but this time, Chen Go really doesn't deserve it. Fart, Su Yuan was obviously taken down by Chen Go. Didn't you see the follow-up updates? All kinds of melancholy pictures. I just came back from Su Yuan's little red book. Hey, I can only say that Chen Go is really not a human being. Take you, if anyone is with Chen Go, I will laugh at her forever. Seeing this, Chen Shen nodded slowly. Fortunately, it was the direction he expected. Following this topic, Chen Shen took out his mobile phone and clicked on Xiaohongshu. He didn't use Xiaohongshu. He just registered an account for himself when he helped Su Yuan post the dynamics. He only followed Su Yuan. Tens, hundreds, thousands. Chen Shen was counting the number of Su Yuan's fans. With such a large string of numbers, anyone can tell how many there are at a glance. Okay, it has exceeded 600,000 fans. Chen Shen nodded. It has reached this number before the critical point. The effect is unexpected. Even now, it can already make a living by self-media. Chen Shen looked at the comments under Su Yuan's works. They all reminded her to stay away from him, saying that he was pooing her, and the audience was still immersed in the play. Chen Shen liked the dynamics posted by Su Yuan. It is still updated once a day. Yesterday, the photo posted was a photo on the plane. Looking at the IP address, he returned to Yuzhou. Chen Shen can probably guess when Su Yuan will contact him. It is likely to be after the show is over, otherwise he will feel uncomfortable. Should he contact her in advance? Normally, it is necessary. If a girl doesn't take the initiative, you boys don't know how to take the initiative. However, the current situation does not require it. After the show is broadcast, the discussions it brings will definitely revolve around her. Even if there is no mention of herself in these discussions, every sentence will be about herself. Then there is the data feedback of Su Yuan's social platform, which Chen Shen taught her step by step. The data has increased so many times, Chen Shen doesn't believe that Su Yuan will not think of himself. At this time, not showing up and not contacting is the best choice. If I take the initiative, it will make her alert and feel that she will be controlled again, especially after this episode is broadcast. There was a sound behind her, and Su Mian came out with a yawn. Chen Shen looked at the time, it was 7:30. Not going to sleep. Su Mian walked in front of Chen Shen and shook her head. I fell asleep at 11 o'clock last night. I slept for 8 hours, much more than usual. Chen Shen looked at Su Mian, and his mood unconsciously improved. She was wearing a white shirt with a large collar and a slightly loose knitted jacket. Su Mian usually buttoned her clothes properly. She had a fresh bookish air, almost like a little princess from a wealthy family. Chen Shen reached out and unconsciously took Mimi's hand into his own. Su Mian's body stiffened for a moment, and whispered, "What are you doing?" "Chen Shen, I want to see if there is any dirt in your hand." Su Mian asked in confusion, "How can there be any dirt? I don't play with mud." Chen Shen smiled and said, "If there is no dirt, why are there so many people on the internet saying that I will fall into your hands?" Su Mian was stunned for a moment, then smiled, "You are so boring." But he didn't pull his hand away. "I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 195. At Yuhan Hotel, Su Mo got up at 6 o'clock as usual. She had just returned from a business trip in Shudu the day before yesterday. The decoration of the 31st batch of upgraded stores has been completed. This time I went to Shudu to confirm the environment. Su Mo visited each store in person and then handed it over to the respective store manager to take charge of the next step. Work. According to the plan, it can be opened directly this Saturday. In the gym, Su Mo jumped rope for 20 minutes and glanced at the treadmill next to her out of habit. "I wasn't here yesterday, and I'm not here today. Where are you?" At 10 o'clock, Su Mo appeared on the 15th floor, which is Yu Qing Catering, with a computer. Chen Qianyu's office door was open. Su Mo glanced inside, and Chen Qianyu stood up. "Mr. Su." Su Mo hummed and went in. The two have meetings almost every day. Chen Qinyu handed over Yu Qing's work to Chu Miao, and she is now doing Qin Fangyu's hotpot personnel work. Chen Qinyu is responsible for all staffing of the 30 stores. Su Mo knew full well that this was laying the foundation for Chen Qinyu to take over Qin Fangyu. After starting the business, Su Mo will naturally not stop at Qin Fangyu. Although the name is related to Chongqing Hotpot, it is impossible for the Qin family to take over the management. Therefore, Su Mo communicates with Chen Qinyu on many matters. After spending so many days together, she also recognizes Chen Qinyu's abilities. In the negotiation area, Chen Qinyu sent a report to Su Mo's mailbox, which was the test store's operating data for a week. Su Mo nodded. It was not much different from what he had expected. The average turnover was just over 30,000 yuan. For a medium-sized hotpot restaurant, this figure was excellent. Mr. Su, thank you, Chen Qinyu said proactively. Su Mo smiled, thank you for what? Chen Qinyu looked complicated and fell silent again. When Su Mo first joined Qin Fangyu's management team, Chen Qinyu was completely defensive about Su Mo. She felt that in terms of career security, Su Mo was not as good as the Qin family. After all, from her perspective, if it weren't for her younger brother, Su Mo would have been the last straw for Chen Hotpot. Unexpectedly, Su Mo's work efficiency was so high that Chen Qinyu's team could not keep up. For example, the personnel structure, salary structure, and management structure of the hotpot restaurant all need to be redesigned. Chen Qinyu's head has grown several times in those days. Of course, that doesn't mean it can't be completed, it just takes time. As a result, Su Mo found 2 people and it was done in 2 days. Many big and small things were accomplished with the cooperation of Su Mo and Chen Qinyu. Many people inside were afraid of Su Mo and gossiped, but Su Mo didn't care at all. Chen Qinyu sang along several times and now her reputation is no lower than Chen Ruxi's. Until now, they had to find faults, and only her brother and her could find faults. His younger brother always has a filter, like a mother looking at her son. Chen Qinyu doesn't think Chen Shen is not worthy of Su Mo. Needless to say about appearance, Chen Qinyu feels that there are few men in the world who are better looking than her younger brother. What about ability? Just watch Lianzong and you will know that Chu Miao pesters her every day to ask about the follow-up of Lianzong. Everyone around her is like this, let alone the internet. From the degree of being out of the circle and the hot spots, almost all of them are related to Chen Shen. That is to say, Chen Qinyu was too busy during this period and had no time to watch the show. Deserving of it, and with the filter of his younger brother's identity, the relationship between Su Mo and his younger brother, in Chen Qinyu's opinion, was that Su Mo had manipulated his younger brother. My work ability is so outstanding, my efficiency is so high, and I am so beautiful. Why don't I play around with my honest brother? After getting along with each other for such a long time, Chen Qinyu's inner resistance was reduced. Su Mo did nothing wrong. He not only invested money but also put in effort for Qin Fangyu. Seeing Chen Qinyu's attitude, Su Mo had a smile on his face. After working on it for so long, it finally had some effect. I have to thank you. If you hadn't cooperated with me, how could Qin Fangyu's development be so smooth? No wonder Chen Shen always told me that he has a good sister, Su Mo said with a smile. Chen Qinyu looked over with a smile on her face. Mom left early, and the father is unreliable. The key is that he must be strong himself. We can't help him with the path he has chosen, and he has a headache. In the past, Chen Qinyu would never have said this to Su Mo. It was Su Mo's attitude towards the transformation and upgrading of Chen Hotpot that made Chen Qinyu feel that Su Mo should be sincere to her brother. She asked her father, Chen Ruxi, how Su Mo changed her mind. Chen Ruxi directly pushed it to Chen Shen and asked Chen Qinyu to ask Chen Shen herself. The aunt complained a few words from time to time and asked her to educate Chen Shen. Although Yuzhou has raking ears, it can't be done like this, right? Are you really unable to get involved in your own business? Let Su Mo, an outsider, guide the country. This is what happened before you got married. Why should you get married? Over and over again, Chen Qinyu felt that Su Mo should have fallen in love with her younger brother when she was in love with Zhongzong, and used some tricks to win him over. Otherwise, why would his father be so embarrassed to tell him? It's good to have an industry you like. Besides, why can't you help? When Qin Fangyu does it, doesn't it become his backing? Su Mo answered. That's true. Su Mo pushed the computer back to Chen Qinyu. After reading it, she knew what was going on. Love TV has not aired the Hot Pot segment yet. The first batch of stores can be opened before this point, so there is nothing to worry about. Su Mo looked at Chen Qinyu and asked nonchalantly, why didn't you see him go home? Chen Qinyu was stunned for a moment, then smiled and said, yes, I'm going home. Su Mo nodded, stood up and said, okay, I'll go and do my own thing. Chen Qinyu stood up and sent Su Mo to the door. After Su Mo walked away, Chen Qinyu took out her phone and sent a WeChat message to Chen Shen, I told Su Mo that you are at home, don't let it slip. Chen Qinyu breathed a sigh of relief, she felt that she could empathize with her brother. Su Mo is good in everything, but she is a little strong. It's stressful to face her, let alone Chen Shen. It's not easy to ask where someone has been after just a few days of business trip. Su Mo returned to the presidential suite on the 23rd floor and sat in front of the desk. On the computer, the mailbox kept flashing. Click to see, the assistant has sent what I want to know. Last night, Su Mian said that Chen Shen seemed to have encountered trouble at work, and Su Mo asked someone to check. She is not from Yuzhou, and her circle is not the entertainment circle, so she really doesn't know about opaque news. The more Su Mo looked at her, the more she frowned. For example, in the first paragraph, the assistant sorted out the content that after Chen Shen joined Huanyu, he took the role of Zhou Jianqing, who was also a newcomer to Huanyu, so that his agent Wang Ziwen had a conflict with Chen Shen. It's a bit biased. Although Chen Shen looks like a scumbag, his work ability is definitely no problem. He is a newcomer to Huanyu and is unfamiliar with the place. How can he take someone else's role? It must be that the people above think he is suitable, Su Mo muttered. In the second paragraph, when Chen Shen was filming in Hongdian, he had a conflict with Pu Bin and scolded Pu Bin so much that he couldn't get off the stage, causing the project to stop for 2 days. Then the company called Chen Shen back and took away the role that belonged to Chen Shen. Su Mo muttered again, it's still not objective. The male guests of the love variety show were all appeased by Chen Shen in the later stage. Otherwise, how could the show be so easy to go online? He would take the initiative to cause trouble to others. Stop it. In the third paragraph, after Chen Shen and Pu Bin had a conflict, the agent who followed him did not do a good job of Chen Shen's work, so that Chen Shen and Pu Bin had no intention to resolve the conflict, which made the conflict worse and worse. Therefore, Huanyu fired Chen Shen's agent, which made Chen Shen completely angry. He smashed a cup in Huanyu's public office area and pointed at Huanyu's director Zhao Ziazai's face and scolded him, causing Zhao Ziazai to threaten to ban him. Su Mo frowned, this is even more nonsense. How high is Chen Shen's emotional intelligence? He can't even solve this conflict? It can be seen that those who felt that their roles were taken away at the beginning did something behind their backs. Chen Shen would scold people? Impossible, he must have been bullied and had no choice but to turn against him. The entertainment industry is really a bit lacking. It's really rude to treat a newcomer like this. Thanks to the brother for the 5,000 coin reward. Thanks to the two brothers Heroic Soul Immortal and Mortal Star Mode for the 100 coin reward. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 196. Su Mo was a little angry, not only with Huan Yu, but also with her assistant. Xiao Tang, I want you to collect information in the future, and it must be objective enough. Chen Shen has held several meetings with you. Could he be such an unstable person? I just want to ask you one thing, who is Pu Bin's agent? Soon, the assistant's message came, I'm sorry, Mr. Su, I have sorted out the information given by several people. Pu Bin's agent is indeed Zhou Jianqing's agent. Look, can't you grasp the key points? It's obvious that someone is deliberately making things difficult for Chen Shen. I asked you to find out the news, not to hear gossip. Chen Shen is a very important partner of ours. Qin Fangyu's publicity is all on him. This is a very important job. I don't want to see this attitude a second time. After replying this message, Su Mo didn't read the assistant's message. Su Mo took Chen Shen to hold several meetings with her team. Su Mo was angry because the people in the team didn't have an objective understanding of Chen Shen. Am I the kind of person who just grabs someone and brings him to the team? Chen Shen may not want to show off because he does not want to steal his limelight, but if the people in the team think that Chen Shen is not important or not powerful, then there is a problem with the subjective cognition of the team. Maybe it's been a long time since I got angry, and this group of people are slack, Su Mo said to herself. Chen Shen signed Huan Yu, and he told Su Mo a long time ago. After Su Mo had some free time, she did pay attention to Huan Yu's dynamics and waited for the opportunity for Chen Shen to say. If Chen Shen did not move, she could not move. This is a tacit understanding. After calming down, Su Mo read the information sorted by the assistant again. Then a smile slowly appeared at the corner of her mouth. This guy has a lot of thoughts, maybe he really took the initiative to guide it. This logic is not complicated in Su Mo's view, but she was a little emotional at first and was surprised at the same time. Chen Shen is indeed trying to get Huan Yu Capital's secondary market, that is, stocks. This guy is really bold and actually entered the market. This is another reason why Su Mo did not expect it. Even if he wants to get Huan Yu's secondary market, Chen Shen himself had better not mess around, and he is not going to kill Huan Yu completely. Companies in the entertainment industry are different in nature. Artists are the biggest products. If they want to increase their market value in the future, they have to rely on Chen Shen himself. Why is Huan Yu's market value getting lower and lower? Because the capital market in the entertainment industry recognizes people more than works. Su Mo took out her mobile phone and sent a WeChat message to Chen Shen. On the other side, Chen Shen and Su Mian sat side by side on the carpet watching a drama. The computer was placed on the coffee table, and they watched it on the sofa, shoulder to shoulder. The phone vibrated again, and Chen Shen's body stiffened for a moment. A pleasant weekend, watching dramas with Mian, how comfortable. However, a message from her sister just now scared Chen Shen. The key is that Mian is very sensible. When she saw that he wanted to read the message, she not only paused the drama, but also turned her head to look to the side. In fact, it's not a big deal. If Mian sends a message, she won't read it either. She just feels a little guilty. Sure enough, when she saw that she picked up the phone, Mian paused the drama again and turned her head away. Why didn't you tell me about you and Huan Yu? Seeing the content of the message, Chen Shen breathed a sigh of relief and pretended to be generous. Sister Mo asked me. After that, he handed the phone to Mian to read. Chen Shen felt that it was dark under the lamp, and Mian would not read these messages. But this time she turned back and really looked at her phone screen. Chen Shen, dot. Su Mian saw the message and frowned slightly. Huan Yu? Huan Yu in Yuzhou? Is this Chen Shen's work? Su Mian didn't think there was anything unusual. She thought it was unusual that Su Mo didn't look for Chen Shen. She told her yesterday that Chen Shen was in trouble. Su Mian calculated the time and sent a message to ask at 11 o'clock the next morning. There was a smile on the corner of her mouth. You should reply to her quickly. Chen Shen pretended to be calm, and complained in his heart that he was asking for trouble. But, there was no need to panic. Neither side had broken the relationship, so he had confidence. Sister Emma was not the kind of person who liked to joke, so it should be fine. Maja has been asking her sister about her news, so I can't reply too formally. I have to have some positive emotions. Mian was watching beside him, but he couldn't be too explicit. After thinking for a while, Chen Shen started typing, "Are you back? There is nothing to explore about this matter. Don't powerful people have to appear at the end?" Chen Shen thought it was okay. He knew that Su Emma went to Shidu on a business trip. Asking her if she was back, wasn't it just expressing that he didn't know she was back, so he didn't stay in the hotel? The emotions were there, the questions were answered, and he also praised her. Chen Shen didn't send it out immediately, and explained to Mian, Maja seems to have gone to Shidu on a business trip. The matter she asked is very important. I have to rely on her to protect me later. Su Mian nodded, and then whispered, then you do this, change the word powerful to important. Chen Shen stared. Change it? If she asks you, just say it nicely. Didn't you also say that this matter is very important? Then answer her sincerely. From Su Mian's perspective, Su Emma went to Chen Shen because she said that Chen Shen was in trouble. This is a career, and the words should be sincere. So, Chen Shen tremblingly changed don't all powerful people have to appear last to don't all important people appear last. After sending it out, Chen Shen began to pray, praying that Sister Emma would not say these words. Oh, you are so sweet, are you at home? This time, Chen Shen didn't dare to ask Mian, and replied directly, I'm at home. Just after the message was sent, Sumo's video popped up. Chen Shen felt a numbness on his back. However, Su Mian's reaction was even greater. She jumped up and ran. Chen Shen was stunned. Why was she running? Chen Shen looked around. Su Emo had never been here, it should be fine. After taking a few deep breaths, Chen Shen answered the video. After the video was connected, Su Emo didn't even look at Chen Shen, and asked directly, what do you think about Huan Yu? Well, you don't have to worry about this, isn't Qin Fangyu going to open a business? Su Emo looked at Chen Shen seriously, underestimating me? In fact, I guessed it. I'm not afraid that you can't take it later. I think this kind of play needs the cooperation of the secondary market. Chen Shen sat upright. I know, I have asked my sister to start buying Huanyu's stocks. Su Emo stared, a little surprised. You also understand capital operation? Chen Shen laughed, no, a little bit simple. Do you need me to cooperate with you? It's good for you to cooperate, but I'm afraid that your movements will be too big and attract attention. Su Emo rolled her eyes and said, this is the field I'm good at, okay. Are you afraid that I'll hold you back? You're really out of breath after saying you're fat? I tell you, if you get out of control this time, you'll have to listen to me from now on. Chen Shen could only nod and say, okay. Su Emo smiled, keep your word, if you don't, I'll tell your dad. Chen Shen's forehead was sweating because he saw Mian showing her head in the restaurant. What's wrong with you? Su Emo seemed to have discovered something unusual. It's okay, just a little bit of pressure. Su Emo smiled and said, it's not a big problem, don't you still have me? I'll hang up then. Chen Shen hummed, and after Su Emo hung up the video, he began to wipe the sweat from his forehead. Su Mian saw Chen Shen put down his phone and then slowly walked over. Chen Shen immediately calmed down and smiled at Su Mian, why are you running? Su Mian pouted, I don't know why I'm running. Thanks to the boss for the big reward. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Ching-Jo-mi Se. Chapter 197. After lunch, Chen Shen started typing away on his computer. Sumian also played team fight tactics on another computer, one on one side of the sofa, the other on the other. There was actually a study room, but neither of them wanted to use it. If Chen Shen got stuck or couldn't remember the direction of the script, he would look at Sumian, and after a little thought, he would have another idea. Sumian leaned on the sofa, the screen went dark, but she didn't notice. She was thinking about what happened in the morning. Chen Shen wasn't afraid, so why should she be afraid? She definitely couldn't show her face in the video, but Sumian felt bad about the instinct to run. Even if you play games, you can't stay in the safe zone for the rest of your life, right? With the current cooperative relationship between Sister Mo and Chen Shen, how could they not have contact in the short term? What if I keep being timid and the other party pushes the high ground? Under normal circumstances, based on the thinking of the game, what should I do if I feel I can't beat them? Sumian's eyes suddenly lit up, and she asked for help from her teammates. Find a teammate who looks stronger than me to help, and let her go first. Sumian thought about it and it seemed like it was possible. Sumian took the phone and opened WeChat, but who should she contact? She had both Su Yuan and Xiaoqing Ai's WeChat accounts, and she added them during the show. After thinking about it, Sumian thought she should contact Xiaoqing Ai. She didn't know what was going on with Yuan, and maybe she had figured it out and didn't care about these things anymore. Another thing was that she saw Su Yuan's condition that day, and the injured teammates should not play. Sumian clicked on the dialog box several times, and was a little afraid to take the first step. Then she changed her mind and thought, isn't this similar to playing games? It's not face-to-face communication, and you can't see anyone, so what's there to be afraid of? Sister King Ai, are you free? Do you want to play games? Xiaoqing Ai, Mian. Sumian, yes, are you busy? Xiaoqing Ai, I'm so idle, what games do you want to play? You tell me. Sumian, team fight tactics. Xiaoqing Ai, I know a little bit. I played it with my younger brother and sister during the Chinese New Year. Soon, Sumian got up and sat on the carpet, and opened team fight tactics on the computer again. Xiaoqing Ai is indeed very idle. After finishing the album, she is either idle at home or in the company. Today is Saturday, and Xiaoqing Ai is bored at home and watching Douyin. However, Douyin during this period is very interesting to Xiaoqing Ai, all about the plots of love variety shows. Sumian suddenly found her, and Xiaoqing Ai was a little confused at first. With Mianmian's personality, can she take the initiative to find me to play games? Isn't this a fantasy? After thinking about it, I thought that it might be because Chen Shen ignored her, and she was emotional and suffocated. Why did Chen Shen ignore her? It's very simple. If Chen Shen played with him, would he still find her? Isn't that crazy? I'm a little surprised that Mian would ask me to play games. Xiaoqing Ai sent a message tentatively. It's a bit boring to play alone. Seeing this reply, Xiaoqing Ai smiled. You see, I said that Mian is the least threatening. With Mian's personality, isn't it like raising a daughter to be with her? It's okay. You can find me anytime you want to play. As long as I have time, I will definitely play with you. I'm bored myself. Xiaoqing Ai typed again. Thank you, Sister King Ai. Xiaoqing Ai smiled more and more happily. Little sheep is still easy to coax. In this case, why not make good friends? Isn't it equivalent to having an extra pair of eyes? You're welcome. I still feel sorry for you. I can't do anything about that show. The company took it? I hope you don't blame me. Sumian, I'm fine. I just went to the show to make friends. Xiaoqing I simply ignored the game and started to hang up. Mian, do you still contact them often? Does anyone blame me? This time, Sumian waited for a long time before replying. I only contacted Sister Mo and Chen Shen. Chen Shen is so busy that he ignores me. Sister Mo is also so partial. Sister Mo helps Chen Shen a lot. She helps him run a hot pot restaurant and helps deal with Chen Shen and his company's affairs. She has no time to contact me. Xiaoqing narrowed her eyes. Isn't it right? Sister Mo should be an extremely rational person. She helps Chen Shen run a hot pot restaurant for her career. Why does she have to help Chen Shen deal with Huanyu's affairs? Don't you really like Chen Shen? Xiaoqing glared. She used to think that Su Mo, who was at the level of her boss and worth 10 figures, could possibly fall into the hands of a man? What kind of man can't she meet? Why does she have to join in the fun? Mian, how do you know? Xiaoqing confirmed. I definitely know, Lao Su said so. Who is Lao Su? My dad. Why did your dad tell you this? He controls me and doesn't let me play with Chen Shen. After talking about this, Xiaoqing I felt that the logic made sense, and the news should be true. Instantly, Sumo's danger level increased. If Sister Mo was serious, she would be more dangerous than Su Yuan. Then you can come to play with me in the future, as long as I'm free. At 8:30 in the evening, Chen Shen stretched his body, and the second script was finally finished, and then he sent it to Zhao Chunzhen's email. After turning on the computer, Chen Shen looked to the side. Sumian was lying on the sofa with a tablet computer in her arms, and I didn't know what she was playing, but there was a smile on her face. There is one thing that is particularly good about living with Mian, that is, there is food at mealtime, and it is brought to you on the coffee table. Mian is afraid of meeting Su Mo in this state. Chen Shen thinks it is not complicated, because it is unreasonable for Mian to live with him. Only two unreasonable people can do this. In addition, Mian likes someone. For her, it is not safe to expose this matter. This is actually quite interesting to think about. Chen Shen and the four girls are in the ambiguous stage. It is on the show. The rules of the love variety show are added. There is no result after the show, and they can still meet each other. They can only continue to be deadlocked. Someone can only retreat, or someone can step forward and give a conclusion. The key step is still stuck. After all, the relationship in the love variety show is under the camera, and there are tasks. Who can directly transition to reality? Psychologically, they all feel that there is one step short. There are a lot of things in reality that are stuck, and the conditions are not mature. Mian and I have already become unable to move forward. Thinking of this, Chen Shen wants to laugh. Is he a scumbag? Chen Shen thinks it should be counted, but he is not after money or sex, but he is a little greedy for the taste of these people and the feeling of getting along with them. Chen Shen feels that even if he is a quarter of himself, he can still achieve 100% value. At this point, can you still watch them get together with other boys? Different worlds have a sense of disharmony and strangeness. The recognition of the soul and the real getting along have gradually integrated Chen Shen into this world. These are all very important ties for Chen Shen. At most, it will be hard and tiring. But as long as there is support, it is not tired or hard, it is just life. Perhaps noticing Chen Shen's gaze, Sumian looked up. Are you done? Chen Shen nodded. I've finished writing this book. Awesome, Sumian said while pulling down WeChat on the tablet, and then clicked on Xiaoqing I's dialog box. I suddenly have a stomachache, so let's stop here today, bye. Turn on the lights in the yard, and the shadows of the trees are mottled. There was a dark empty space under the cliff. You couldn't see the grassland during the day, but you could see the tall buildings opposite. The small windows flashed their own meaningful lights, just like the lights behind Chen Shen and Su Mian. Su Mian was on his right, and Chen Shen suddenly felt that there was something in the right pocket of his coat. Su Mian whispered, "Car keys, I'm afraid of losing them, you keep them for me." Chen Shen turned his head and glanced at the car parked in the parking lot outside, then smiled bitterly, "I'm afraid your dad will chop me." Chen Shen is really scared now. He wasn't so greedy when he was dating. He didn't think about leaving a good impression on me and Mian's family, so he didn't show anything. In addition to the current situation, old Su is not very difficult. Don't be afraid, he still has to renovate the house for us. Chen Shen stared. When you are busy again, we won't live here first, and we will move in after he finishes it. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 198. After walking a few more steps, Su Mian stopped and stared at Chen Shen with bright eyes. Chen Shen was still digesting Su Mian's words. He could probably guess why old Su wanted to renovate his house. Isn't it just a mistake? Mian definitely didn't explain, but you are her daughter and you are definitely not afraid, but I am still an outsider. Isn't my life a life? Chen Shen sighed, reached out and grabbed Mian's hand, and Su Mian continued to walk with Chen Shen. Su Mian turned her head to look at Chen Shen from time to time. The more she thought about it, the more things happened. In Su Mian's eyes, Chen Shen seemed to have really become the huge crystal in the game that needed to be protected. Chen Shen did not do much for Su Mian, but Su Mian herself captured the special feeling for her. Chen Shen. I am your most important friend, right? Yes. Who is more important, a partner or a friend? Chen Shen didn't even think about it, you are more important. Su Mian laughed non-stop. The phone in Chen Shen's trouser pocket vibrated, and Su Mian also felt it. She let go of Chen Shen's hand, ran to the other side, and then held Chen Shen's left hand again. Chen Shen took out his phone, and saw a WeChat message from Xia King Ai, asking if he had time on Monday. Chen Shen smiled. Wouldn't this provide a wave of emotional value to me and Mian? I wrote 2 songs for King Ai, and now she keeps pestering me and asking me if I have time. Do I have a lot of time? Chen Shen smiled. However, Su Mian squeezed Chen Shen's hand, why don't you have time? I have time. Chen Shen was stunned, a little confused. Su Mian said again, you should reply to her quickly, maybe it's about work. Chen Shen didn't quite understand Mian's logic. Other girls asked me out, but I didn't care at all. What's wrong? Chen Shen replied to Xia King Ai. The album is ready, I want to ask you, a great talent, to take a look. Chen Shen showed his phone to Su Mian, and then asked, then I will go. Su Mian nodded, go, why not go to work? Su Mian's attitude made Chen Shen a little unconfident. He didn't really think of himself as a friend, did he? That shouldn't be the case, they were still holding hands. Su Mian thought it was very simple. Chen Shen was not a bad person. He just wanted to play with Xia King Ai. Now Xia King Ai was a super soldier who explored the way for him. Just as Xia King Ai thought Su Yuan was the biggest competitor at the beginning, Su Mian thought that Sister Mo was the big boss, a very powerful big boss. Xia King Ai might not need to be guarded by himself. Even if Sister Mo didn't care, wouldn't that be better news? He was facing Xia King Ai. Su Mian felt that he was still quite powerful. As long as you change your mindset, it seems that it is not difficult to fall in love, just like playing games. This is career. Old Su said that career is the most important thing for boys. Didn't you have a conflict with Huan Yu? Sister King Ai has Yuan behind her. You are so smart, Why don't you use Sister King Ai's relationship, Su Mian reminded. Chen Shen pinched Su Mian's hand. Mian's brain circuit is indeed different. Chen Shen curled his lips and said, old Su knows nothing. Su Mian said happily, yes, old Su knows nothing. On Monday, Xia King Ai arrived early in the morning in Shen Halen's office. The two of them lay on the table and watched the data sent from Penguin Video. Love This Class has been broadcast for 3 episodes and has become the variety show king this year. The number of members opened from the Love This Class port has exceeded 4 million. The pure members' money has earned them tens of millions, not to mention the business. Xiaoqing curled her lips and said, why don't you come out to do justice now? You just want to get a bargain. Shen Halen laughed out loud, you study these things all day long. What? Are you going to quit the circle and do business? Xiaoqing gritted her teeth, it's just that I don't have that much money, otherwise I would definitely buy Chen Shen. Shen Halen smiled and didn't answer immediately. After Xiaoqing went to the Love variety show, her personality became more active, which Shen Halen thought was a good thing. It's no exaggeration to say that the interests involved by Chen Shen now are already in the 9-digit level, so why doesn't Penguin Video do justice? Shen Halen thinks that it's to maximize the interests. They may be eager for Chen Shen to fight with Huan Yu, and then pull Chen Shen over when Chen Shen is in the most difficult time, gaining both fame and fortune. Don't click on me. The boss is already paying attention to this matter. It's just that we think it's very strange. Strange. Shen Halen nodded, do you think Chen Shen is someone who can suffer a loss? Xia King Ai looked at Shen Halen, so, Sister Lan, do you think Chen Shen will not suffer a loss? Shen Halen was stunned and said unhappily, you are trying to trick me again. Xia King Ai laughed. Still laughing, why don't you look at the atmosphere on the internet and see how they praise you? They think you are the only one who can sanction Chen Shen. If you work hard and really sanction Chen Shen, you can make enough money for your retirement by taking advantage of this trend. Shen Halen pouted. Xia King Ai stepped back and sat on the chair next to him, not caring. As long as she doesn't spend it recklessly, the retirement money is enough. Sister Lan, let me ask you something. If there is a big capital behind Chen Shen to help, is this still strange? Xia King Ai asked suddenly. Shen Halen frowned, then looked at Xia King Ai and said with a smile, stop joking, Huan Yu is not the future of the entertainment industry, it's not worth it at all. That's what he said, but Shen Halen did think in this direction. The more he thought about it, the more impossible it became. The capital Xia King Ai was talking about was probably Pilot Capital, which was Su Mo. For Vanguard Capital, what is it about Huan Yu that attracts them? If Chen Shen alone was indeed a hot commodity, they might be interested, but Huan Yu has been going downhill, and they themselves are worried about development. To put it bluntly, even if Chen Shen is causing trouble, you are still happy. Are you going to fall out because of your popularity? Then aren't you still a happy person? This is good news. The entry of leading capital is another good news. Shen Halen glared, Mata, you won't let them mess around with you, and Huan Yu will ride on Yuan's neck again, right? Shen Halen shook his head, no, if Vanguard Capital really valued Chen Shen so much, it would not have let him sign Huan Yu. Xiaoqing shook her head. She didn't understand the capital market very well, but she felt that Chen Shen was very smart and Su Mo was not stupid. It was definitely not an anticlimax. Xiaoqing sighed, sighing that the pressure from Sister Mo was so great. Dong dong dong. Enter. The office door opened, and the person pushing the door was the front desk, but Chen Shen stood behind the young lady at the front desk. After bringing Chen Shen into the office, the receptionist left. Xia King Ai stood up and finally had a smile on his face. Shen Halen smiled and said, you really dare to come. If Huan Yu blames us, you will owe us a favor. Chen Shen walked to the table carelessly. How stingy, didn't I discuss them for you? Shen Halen looked at Chen Shen and felt a little emotional. This guy really became popular on his own. Even before those two songs came out, the show had already become the king of variety shows this year. Aren't you afraid that they will announce that you signed with Huan Yu when you are at the height of your popularity? Shen Halen reminded, also as a test. Chen Shen smiled and said, afraid. Shen Halen, afraid you will irritate them. Shen Halen was even more puzzled. If Chen Shen was interested in Huan Yu's stock, Huan Yu would shamelessly say that you were one of theirs, and then buy it back in the secondary market to form an upward trend. Maybe Huan Yu would inflate the stock price. Chen Shen did not explain. This matter is a double-edged sword. It just depends on everyone's operations. Sumo's end is Chen Shen's confidence. It is precisely because of fear that you want to stimulate them. If you want to get benefits from me, I can get benefits from you. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show. Why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 199. On the rooftop of Building 2 of Yuan Media, Chen Shen came for the second time. The first time with Xiaoqing Ai, the second time was still the same, but without the camera, there were no more worries. The wind in Jialing River does not have the unique smell of river water. It is a little colder than last time. Chen Shen's eyes stayed on the Huanyu building across the river, his eyes deep. Xiaoqing looked at Chen Shen, then at Huanyu opposite him, and pouted slightly. If it was limited to the show, Xiaoqing Ai felt that he might not know Chen Shen that well. From her interactions on the show, she felt that Chen Shen was sincere and steady, and had some thoughtfulness far beyond his peers, not to mention his talent. On the show, Xiaoqing Ai didn't figure out what Chen Shen wanted to do until the end, but on the show, it was even more unpredictable. One thing that can be confirmed is that Chen Shen is taking big steps, which are not in the conventional development direction and speed, and are even beyond his own understanding. In Xiaoqing Ai's concept, Huan Yu is a media giant. Not to mention the seniors in domestic entertainment, many top actors have worked with Huan Yu. Yang Qingqing, one of the most popular little girls in 20+, is still with Huan Yu to this day. Chen Shen grabbed the camera of the program crew during the show. After the show, he was still the same Chen Shen. He smashed a cup directly in Huan Yu's office, which was so audacious. Xiaoqing Ai said softly, "You will be very tired if you do this." She hasn't figured out what Chen Shen wants to do, or maybe it's Sister Mo who instigated it, otherwise why would she have a falling out with Huan Yu? Xiaoqing Ai felt that with Chen Shen's ability, if he signed a big contract and went to a big company, he would become a famous figure in this circle in a few years. The road is stable and fragrant. Chen Shen came back to his senses, glanced at Xiaoqing Ai, and said with a smile, "You're just greedy. If you're tired, you'll be tired." Xiaoqing took a few steps closer to Chen Shen and said, "Why are you greedy? If Lianzhong becomes popular, it won't be enough for you. Didn't Chen Hotpot also turn over? Changed his name to Qin Fangyu, right? I looked at Duyan, that store business is so good, there's a queue every night." Chen Shen just looked at Xiaoqing and smiled, without answering Xiaoqing Ai's question. Under the warm sunshine, Xiaoqing Ai's hair swayed back slightly, and her entire face was perfectly displayed in front of Chen Shen. The delicate face with melon seeds, the smart eyes, and the porcelain doll with a face full of collagen she became a stunning beauty. "Chen Shen, don't laugh. It's because of you that I didn't argue about winning or losing when I was in love. I don't want my expectations to be disappointed. I think you can go further than me. Do you understand?" Xiaoqing said loudly. "A few points." Chen Shen looked at Xiaoqing Ai, "That's why I'm greedy." Xiaoqing Ai frowned, "What are you greedy for? What do you think? You are greedy for a certain beautiful woman who is about to become a little queen, Chen Shen said with a smile. Indeed, I chose a relatively difficult shortcut. Why? Deep down, isn't it also because of the pressure? It's okay to raise 1 or 2 as normal, but you can also raise 3 or 4 as normal. Stop it. Xia King I felt a little sorry for Chen Shen's anxious situation that made it more difficult for him. Otherwise, would he be looking at Huan Yu at this time? After chatting for a while, I felt a little worried, but I still felt that Chen Shen should take his time. After Mian said that Sister Mo wanted to help Chen Shen, Sumo's figure kept popping up in Xia King I's mind. She even felt that Sister Mo had led Chen Shen into trouble. In the final analysis, the entertainment industry relied on works. As long as Chen Shen worked steadily on his works, why did he have to play with the capital market? In the entertainment industry, Xia King I felt that she knew better than Su Mo. However, Chen Shen's greedy answer was like a wind stronger than the river wind, coming straight towards him and whistling in his ears. A smile appeared on Xia Qing's face unconsciously, and then she quickly turned to look at Zhang Mian. You are seeking death. If you really get involved in this, I won't help you. Chen Shen smiled, but he had to listen to the sentence in reverse. This is Xia King I's character. He became famous at a young age and worked as a cash cow for Penguin Video for several years. He is strong and arrogant. Across the river, Huanyu Building. Zhao Ziazai either didn't go to the company during this period, or had a gloomy face when going to and from get off work. When he goes to work, he basically doesn't care about anything. He only intervenes in a few projects, such as the Jinyi project, and he is the one who makes the final decision. The company's development was not going well, and Zhao Jingquan spent most of his time away from home. If his own projects were not going well, he would go around and look for other people's projects. Without grades, this kind of working life is also a kind of torture for Zhao Ziazai. Suddenly a thorn named Chen Shen appears, and he deals with it with great enthusiasm, but he is backlashed. So now when Zhao Ziazai goes to work in the company, he feels like there are ants crawling all over his body. He always feels that the people below are talking about him. At 10 o'clock, as soon as Zhao Ziazai sat down in the office, Ren Dongjun ran in and said in Zhao Ziazai's ear, Chen Shen went to Yuan Media again. Zhao Ziazai scratched his neck unconsciously, and the feeling of ants crawling came again. Zhao Ziazai looked at Ren Dongjun. Is your news so great? Ren Dongjun is the vice president of the project department, and Zhao Ziazai is his direct boss. Of course, such a big matter should be reported to Zhao Ziazai immediately. Then you can't show off your strength. Eyeliner all over Yuan? Ren Dongjun smiled and said, Fortunately, Director Zhao, I feel this matter is a bit mysterious. How dare a newcomer Chen Shen dare to compete with you? Maybe Yuan is supporting him behind the scenes. Ren Dongjun pointed it out. Zhao Ziazai thought deeply, and it made sense. He was helpless because he couldn't touch Chen Shen now. His father had told him that he had a powerful relationship. Chen Shen cannot be touched until the romance drama is over, otherwise Penguin Video will not be able to explain it. The current romance drama is almost the most important project of Penguin Video at the moment. If you move at this time, you will offend people. Therefore, Zhao Ziazai did not want to hear any news about Chen Shen. The most helpless thing in the world is this. I want to kill the other person, but there is nothing I can do. I understand, go ahead and get going. Zhao Ziazai issued the eviction order. Ren Dongjun nodded. He was so active just to increase his presence. Huan Yu's project has never been good. Che's Hylet is old. If Jinyi doesn't make a splash, the boss of the project department may have to be replaced. After Ren Dongjun left, Zhao Ziazai got up and walked back and forth in the office. What the hell, if this trend continues, will Chen Shen be disgusted by Chen Shen for a while? 5 minutes later, Zhao Ziazai also went out. Zhao Jinkin's office was on the top floor. When Zhao Ziazai came in, he found that Zhou Gaikan was also there. After nodding and saying hello, Zhou Gaikan got up and left. "Dad. I really can't bear it anymore. That kid went to Yuan again. Do you think it's Yuan?" Zhao Jingquan raised his hand and interrupted Zhao Ziazai, "Is it Yuan's turn to take the food? You just can't keep calm. Chen Shen can't move now. I just asked Xiao Zhou about the follow-up development of the program. Xiao Zhou said that besides him and Chen, apart from Shen being a little confrontational, it was Chen Shen who completely suppressed the others. This person has a lot of ideas and is just a bastard. Don't worry, he will suffer a lot in the future. Since we have a falling out and can't keep him, we might as well make a game and give it to Penguin Video." Zhao Ziazai came closer, thought about it for a moment, and then said, "You mean that after the romance is over, we can justifiably investigate the responsibility?" Zhao Jingquan nodded, "The bigger the fuss, the better. Penguin Video will probably be happy to do it, and then package it and sell it to them in exchange for more resources. This is the most correct choice for Huanyu at the moment." Zhao Ziazai nodded, "Understood. Let him vent his anger first, then break up with Chen Shen and deal with it, and finally sell it to Penguin. The anger is gone and the profit is obtained. Penguin still has to show this attitude, because I won't sell it, and there's nothing you can do about it." Zhao Ziazai felt quite relieved, "You still know how to handle things." Zhao Jingquan smiled and said, "Although you can't move it, you can hold it up." "What's the meaning? Did I tell you that the more you dislike someone, the more benefits they can create for you? Isn't that the greatest revenge?" Zhao Ziazai nodded. "It's very simple. Didn't I tell you just now?" Xiao Zhou said that in the later stage, he and Chen Shen were the only ones who had some confrontation, and the rest were suppressed by Chen Shen. In other words, the popularity has not reached its peak yet. If we advance, reveal the news that Chen Shen signed with us." Zhao Ziazai thought carefully about his father's words, and then a flash of inspiration came to him. "I understand, the stock market. Use the concept of stock market speculation to guide the enthusiasm for love to Huanyu stocks." Zhao Jingquan smiled. Although his son could not hold his temper, he was not stupid at all. This is not suppression, but just using him to harvest a wave of leaks before selling Chen Shen. Zhao Ziazai had a smile on his face and felt comfortable. "Dad, leave this to me." Zhao Jingquan reminded, "Don't be impatient. Wait for the fourth issue to accumulate a wave of popularity, and then start operating." "Okay, I'll listen to you." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 200. On Friday, Chen Shen woke up in his suite at Yuhan Hotel. It's not that we don't have to live in a villa. Old Sufei has to renovate his house. He can't refuse the hospitality, so he can only move to a hotel. She hasn't spent much time with Su Mo these days. Qin Fangyu's first batch of stores will open tomorrow. She is running around and checking out every store. The test store has verified that there is no problem with the current model. Not to mention offline, it has received rave reviews online. At 10 o'clock in the morning, Chen Shen went down to the 15th floor, which is Yuking Catering. Pushing open the door of her sister's office, Chen Qinyu was on the phone. Chen Shen sat in the reception area minding his own business and poured himself a glass of water. He could vaguely hear that he was confirming the distribution of goods with the supplier. After hanging up the phone, Chen Qinyu walked to Chen Shen and sighed inexplicably for some reason. "What's wrong?" Chen Qinyu sat next to Chen Shen. "Actually, it's not bad. Mr. Su is just a bit strong." Chen Shen glared. On Monday, Mr. Su took my Huanyu stock account and said she would cooperate with you. She is indeed professional in this regard. Qin Fangyu is already very busy, and she still has to take care of you. I think, it's okay if you feel aggrieved, Chen Qinyu said in a complicated tone. During this period, Sumo's worries were visible to everyone. My aunt originally had a problem with Su Mo, but why didn't she mention it or make a fuss later? Qin Fangyu is developing smoothly, her grades are very good, and her efficiency is high. Su Mo is taking care of the overall situation. Not to mention the aunt, the old employees began to face the gap between Su Mo and Chen Ruxi. After Su Mo took over, the situation changed day by day. Slowly, Chen Qinyu also let go of her prejudice against Su Mo. Even if such a girl is strong, what's wrong? There can't be anything wrong with it, right? Chen Shen was confused at first, but after thinking about it for a while, he didn't feel anything unusual. When he and Su Mo identified Qin Fangyu in the hotel, they were not clear about it, and the two of them used this lack of clarity to bring the three parties together. It's normal for my sister to have this understanding. However, Chen Shen felt that this was not fair to Su Mo. Now the two of them are ambiguous at best, but the people on my side seem to regard her as the boss's wife. For Su Mo, being the boss lady of Chen Hotpot not only cannot bring her any improvement, but may also affect her reputation. You can't let people work hard and waste their reputation, right? Chen Shen looked at Chen Qinyu and said seriously, "Sister, don't think too much about me and Mr. Su. It will bring bad reputation to her. I know, I used to think this way, not only for her bad reputation, but also for you. Now I don't think so anymore. There is nothing wrong with what they do. It is disrespectful to them if we don't pay attention to them. You should also be honest. Where did you go on the weekend? I finally had a rest and you weren't there yet." Chen Shen's expression changed, and his head was a little down. Chen Qinyu said earnestly, "Okay, I can see that this is not a matter of financial support or lack of financial support. I checked Mr. Su's qualifications and there is no scandal at all. Such strong women may not be very good at dealing with feelings. Their thoughts are all in terms of career. You are also honest and don't understand what a girl is, so you have this misunderstanding. Listen to your sister, you have to grasp it. For someone like Mr. Su, you have no problem matching the son of the richest man. If you miss it, you will regret it." Chen Shen frowned, feeling that he had really overlooked this point. Sister Mo is very meticulous in her approach to her career, and with some unclear ideas, even her sister thinks so. What about the others? It seems that Sister Mo has been burdened with a lot. Chen Shen used to think that it would be enough to explain it to everyone with the song Late Marriage. It was Chen Shen who had thoughts about Sister Mo, not Sister Mo who had thoughts about a young boy. Looking at it now, it almost didn't make sense. This is not in line with Chen Shen's original intention of treating them. What Chen Shen wants is that no matter who they are, they will not be wronged if they can, and try to make them all happy. Then don't take it off for fun. If you really take it off, then we'll talk about it. In the great era of information explosion, although people's minds have awakened, their acceptance is also high. In the past life, there were some big bosses, and there were quite a few who could make a few of them get along peacefully. It all depends on your ability. Where can I go? Just find a place to relax and write. Sister, just tell me these words. Don't talk nonsense to others. I'm not afraid, but even if Sister Mo doesn't care, we can't let it happen. People are pointing fingers at her behind her back, aren't they? Hearing what Chen Shen said, Chen Qinyu had a smile on her face. You see, they both have each other in their hearts, but neither of them knows much about it. It's okay, I'll teach you when I'm free. Chen Shen curled his lips and said, how many times have we talked, and you want to teach me? Even if we haven't talked about it, I'm better than you. You little virgin. Chen Shen glared, if you say anything else, I'll fall out. Chen Kinyu couldn't be happier. Chen Ruxi has an office in Yuking Catering, but he rarely comes. Chen Shen got the key from his sister. He went to the coffee shop yesterday and was recognized by others. Although he only chatted for a few words, it was not too intrusive, but it was more or less inconvenient. As soon as he entered the office, Chen Shen curled his lips. The mahogany desk, solid wood bookshelf, and a glass fish tank are so old-fashioned. In the afternoon, Su Mo came back, covered in dust. Similarly, when she entered Chen Shen's office, she was stunned for several seconds, and then burst out laughing. Before Chen Shen could explain, Su Mo smiled and said, I know it's not your office, but it's okay, it's just more retro. Chen Shen didn't answer and showed Su Mo his cell phone. Su Mo came closer, her body fragrance was somewhat obvious. Su Mo picked up Chen Shen's phone, and the screen showed the WeChat dialogue box between Chen Shen and Zhou Gaikan. Chen Shen, Zhao Ziazai asked me to spread the news that you joined Huanyu. I don't know what he wants to do, so you should be careful. I finally know what your relationship with Sister Mo is. Chen Hotpot has changed its name, and Sister Mo is still your investor. Your sister's company is in Yuhan Hotel, and Sister Mo also works there. Damn, I thought you were together, and you almost made me depressed. I'll treat you well. I'll tell you about any news in the company. You should treat me better in the future. Seeing these messages, Su Mo laughed out loud. She glanced at Chen Shen. So Zhou Gaikan cried last time because of this? The man's inexplicable desire to win is so childish. Don't worry, I've already asked people to keep an eye on Huanyu's stocks. The 1.9 billion plate can't make any waves, Su Mo said indifferently. Chen Shen gave Su Mo a thumbs up, domineering. But, be gentle. I went to Yuan several times to interfere with the line of sight. I know. Okay, I won't tell you any more. I've been running for most of the day and I'm sweating. I'm going to take a shower and then have a video mobilization meeting for the 30 store managers. Su Mo said goodbye to Chen Shen and hurried upstairs. This busyness lasted until the evening. Tomorrow is the day when the first batch of Qin Fangyu opens. Some things need to be explained. If Huanyu makes a move in advance, someone should also keep an eye on it. She and Chen Shen have always had a tacit understanding, and many things don't need to be explained. For example, why did Huanyu move in advance? That wasn't forced by Chen Shen. The stock market has to move, and it has to move without leaving any traces. What did Chen Shen do in Yuan? Is it really just to anger Huanyu? How is it possible? These two companies are born to be incompatible, not only in public opinion, but also in the capital market. Su Mo was surprised that Chen Shen understood capital operation, and was also surprised by this point. The key is that this guy didn't want her to participate at the beginning. However, these are not the most important things for Su Mo. Su Mo looked at the time and sent a WeChat message to Chen Kinyu. Kinyu, haven't you finished get off work yet? Soon, Chen Kinyu replied, no, Mr. Su, what can I do for you? Why are you so formal after get off work? I haven't eaten yet, and it's a bit boring to eat alone. Are you in the office? After a while, Chen Kinyu's message came back, I'm here. I just finished the things on hand. I didn't prepare for dinner. But, Mr. Su, if you want to eat, I'll sacrifice my life to accompany you, haha. Su Mo smiled and stood up. Today is the day when the 4th episode of the Love Variety show is online. Su Mo thinks that if I remember correctly, the last episode was interrupted on the first night of dinner after everyone arrived. The following is all the highlights. Don't you have to drag Chen Shen's sister to watch the fun? I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Chingjomi Se. Chapter 201. After dinner, Chen Qinyu asked the hotel staff to clean up the table. Turning around, she saw Su Mo standing in front of the French window, and Chen Qinyu pulled a chair over. Sit down, you've been running all day today, you're tired, Chen Qinyu said softly. Su Mo didn't hesitate, pulled the chair, and sat in front of the French window. From here, there is an old residential area opposite, and the light rail station is on the side. There are ants dancing square dance below, but it's not the kind of square dance that is more rustic, it's a bit like old jazz. There are several high-end residential areas near the light rail station, and there is a large shopping mall behind the Yuhan Hotel. Su Mo and Chen Qinyu eat together, mostly talking about work. After the first batch of stores opened, the next step is copy and paste. Su Mo means that it is time for Chen Qinyu to arrange someone to take over, and Su Mo herself is just a person who builds the scaffolding. From Chen Qinyu's perspective, the person who harvested Chen Hotpot with a sickle suddenly became an angel. Is this the power of emotion? Chen Qinyu glanced behind her, and the people who came to clean up the hotel had already left. Isn't Chen Shen in the hotel? How about calling him down and we have a drink together, Chen Qinyu said again. Su Mo looked over and smiled, it's past 9 o'clock, and it's almost time for him to rest. Forget it, he's also very tired during this period. Chen Qinyu pouted, what is he tired of? Your brother has a dream of the entertainment industry, and his sense of accomplishment may be more inclined to his works of art. Chen Qinyu tilted her head, so you are attracted to this side of him? After letting go of the prejudice, the mentality changed. Chen Qinyu seemed to want to explore the story between Su Mo and Chen Shen, mainly because it was too incredible. She still knew what kind of character her father was, but now he was willing to stay at the factory. Chen Qinyu felt that her stupid brother would definitely not be able to do it. What did Su Mo want? To Chen Hotpot? There was really no need, and she had already begun to let herself take over the overall situation. He's just playing around. In fact, I think he's not suitable for the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is a place of fame and fortune. It has nothing to do with good or bad. I think he's too naive, Chen Qinyu continued. Chen Shen's guidance to Chen Qinyu was that Su Mo's next goal might be the entertainment industry, so he signed Huanyu and wanted to take advantage of Huanyu's capital market. These tricks are something that a little boy who hasn't even made his debut can think of. From Chen Qinyu's point of view, everything Chen Shen did was led by Su Mo. He had prejudices before because he didn't trust Su Mo, but now he is relieved. Su Mo glared. He is too naive. What nonsense are you talking about? Or is that guy not only coaxing little girls, but also coaxing his own sister? But he wants to go, so let him try. Su Mo tried to make her tone calmer. Now it was Chen Qinyu's turn to stare. He wants to go. Yes, otherwise why would I ask you for a stock account? I haven't prepared anything, but I understand. It's a bit unwilling. Chen Qinyu frowned, so, Chen Shen wanted to continue to develop in the entertainment industry. Then Su Mo turned his attention to the entertainment industry. Chen Qinyu felt a little uncomfortable. What does this kid want to do? Do whatever he wants because he is nice to you? Chen Shen asked Chen Qinyu to buy Huanyu's stocks. Chen Qinyu didn't hesitate at all, because she felt that this was to cooperate with Su Mo, otherwise, her stupid brother would still want to go head-to-head with capital? Wouldn't that be courting death? Chen Qinyu opened her mouth several times, but she didn't dare to speak. I used to think that Su Mo had ruined her brother, but now it seems that her brother is a little ignorant of the limits. It's okay, your brother is very talented, and I am optimistic about him. Su Mo added another sentence. This sentence is not Su Mo's routine to Chen Qinyu. She is indeed a little looking forward to it. What if he really succeeds? The scene in Late Marriage is still vivid in my mind. However, Chen Qinyu doesn't think so. What talent does he have? He didn't make his debut as a trainee in Yanjing. When Su Mo was an outsider before, her brother was of course her treasure. Now he seems to be no longer an outsider. Chen Qinyu thinks her brother is stupid. Why are you, Mr. Su, stupid? Is the power of feelings so terrifying? Maybe Su Mo is used to being strong in the company. Chen Qinyu is a little embarrassed to remind her. She hesitated and said, I think Qin Fangyu is good. That's for sure, but different people have different focuses. Let him try. I'm watching him. Su Mo said this very smoothly. After she finished speaking, she felt that she seemed a little too full, but she couldn't take it back. Su Mo complained in her heart that Chen Shen was still thick-skinned. He would definitely say such things without hesitation. Chen Qinyu was stunned, and then sighed. If it were anyone else, Chen Qinyu would think it was a fantasy, but the object was her brother. What's wrong with her brother being charming? Reasonable. But what she hoped was that her silly brother would be made smarter by Mr. Su, not that Mr. Su, who was smart, would be made stupid by her brother. Chen Qinyu was thinking, how should she persuade him? Mr. Su was not prepared. Why would he go to the entertainment industry? Qin Fangyu was ready. Why would she not want the gold nugget? Suddenly, Chen Qinyu had an idea. Isn't there a love variety show? She could persuade him while watching the show. Wasn't there someone posting something like Chen Dog Dies, Qing Yishan on WeChat Moments? For this, Chen Qinyu almost blocked that person. She was too busy during this period and didn't watch the show, but Chen Qinyu analyzed some online news and believed that Chen Shen must have performed well at the beginning, but when Xiaoqing came, the situation immediately reversed. Then everyone supported Xiaoqing II. From this perspective, it should be possible to persuade him. Xiaoqing II has made you like this, why do you still want to go to the entertainment industry? Then how about this, since we both have time today, we can't just chat, let's watch a love variety show. Chat while watching, Chen Qinyu clapped her hands. Sumo's eyes had a little smile, and she finally got in. Letting Chen Qinyu watch a love variety show is not just watching a love variety show, you have to let her bring it up for it to be effective. It's already 9:30, how can I watch it? I can't finish it, Su Mo continued. Oh, let's just watch the latest episode. I saw the hot search for the previous one, it's just like that, Chen Qinyu said as she walked towards the desk and waved at Su Mo. Su Mo stood up and took the chair she was sitting on. Well, it's mainly because I feel embarrassed when I see myself. Chen Qinyu smiled and said, don't worry, I'm a professional, I won't laugh. Chen Qinyu opened Penguin Video on the computer. Love Lesson has opened a separate section. Click on it from the homepage, and the entire interface is a love variety show. Hey, it's the 4th episode. After Su Mo sat next to her, Chen Qinyu pulled the computer to the edge of the table and clicked play. 2 minutes of advertising, then the main film. Now the observation room is also recording happily. At the beginning of each episode, they have to dance, and then sit together to talk about the excitement of the previous episode and the expectations of this episode. Chen Qinyu was still paying attention to Su Mo at the beginning, but she became immersed in it as she watched. The chat in this episode of the observation room either stayed on Chen Shen or Xiaoqing II, and the confrontation was full. Enter the program and continue the dinner of the previous episode. This scene is not unfamiliar. There are a lot of hot searches, especially when browsing Douyin, a lot of people match various BGMs, especially the eye contact between Chen Shen and Xiaoqing II. I saw you at first sight. Just sitting there, your temperament is different from others, Chen Qinyu praised. Su Mo was slightly dazed. It was really her first time watching the show. The scene on the screen seemed to be yesterday. Although she watched it halfway, it was very clear. The three girls were concentrated on Chen Shen's side, and the three boys were concentrated on Xiaoqing Ai's side. Su Mo didn't need to say anything. Su Mian and Chen Qinyu also knew a little bit. Of course, they didn't know it in reality, but from the hot search. Su Mian's personality is very socially anxious. It seems that he is very dependent on Chen Shen, who he met for the first time. Many people used to ship Chen Shen and Su Mian, saying that they are the big bad wolf and the little sheep CP. After the last episode, basically no one has been shipping. They said that Chen Shen is not worthy of any of them. The key point is that Chen Shen himself told Su Mian that he came to the show just like Xiaoqing Ai. This is also another reason why everyone thinks Chen Shen is a scumbag. You have attracted Su Mian, and then expressed that you don't want to fall in love. If you are not a scumbag, what is it? Xiaoqing Ai wants to wash the dishes, and the three male guests all stand up and start to clean up directly. Su Mo didn't move, Su Mian didn't move, and the other girl's face was obviously not very good. Is she Su Yuan? Chen Qinyu asked Su Mo. Su Mo nodded, yes. When Xiaoqing Ai just came, all the boys revolved around Xiaoqing Ai, and there was a gap. Chen Qinyu nodded and saw it. It was also a hot search before. A lot of people asked Su Yuan to choose Zhou Gaikan and ignore Chen Shen, and said that Chen Shen was a scumbag. Chen Qinyu didn't care, because the audience was from a god's perspective. She knew that her brother had a mission, and it was abnormal not to play with girls. Now it seems that except Chen Shen, including Zhou Gaikan, they all revolved around Xiaoqing Ai, and there was indeed a gap. When several boys were around Xiaoqing Ai in the kitchen, Su Yuan got up and went out. Damn, Zhou Ji is a hopeless loser. Originally, Yuan was a little hesitant, but now, her impression of her is probably gone. I feel so sorry for Yuan. It's so hard to stand in her shoes. The rest of the boys are surrounding King Ai, but what about Chen Go? He's surrounded by a bunch of girls again. It's strange that he doesn't feel nervous. Are you going to start a fight now? I'm so curious about how Yuan agreed to broadcast the show. It's too much for her.